Assalamualaikum, my name is Sarim. I'm currently a student at the Lahore University of Management Sciences, pursuing degree in Management Sciences and a minor in Public Management. I'm currently the president of the LUMS Entrepreneurial Society, which is Pakistan's biggest entrepreneurial society, which is supporting the local entrepreneurial ecosystem through student-run initiatives. Apart from that, I am for the last 2 years, I've been running my own social enterprise known as Riayat, which has a core focus on reducing urban inequality in Pakistan. Apart from that, I represented Pakistan in various international forums, where the core of these international forums was human development and human rights. And through my expertise in the last 4 years, through LUMS and through my social enterprise NLES, I've been able to do a good job of representing Pakistan and representing the developmental landscape of Pakistan. One of the prime things that has defined my time at LUMS is the people of LUMS. So by the people of LUMS, I don't just mean the faculty and other professors that are here at LUMS. What I mean is that this energy that LUMS has, कि जो LUMS के जो colleagues हैं मेरे जो दोस्त हैं, they're all engaged in doing something, and that kind of energy is contagious. और उसके through ही, क्योंकि I've been thinking of solving this problem for a very long time, but the push that I got from the LUMS community कि कोई कुछ ना कुछ कर रहा है and everyone is a risk taker. So उसके ऊपर that push was very essential for me, and that was because of the LUMS community. Apart from that, the academic approach of LUMS is also very different. कि आपकी जो है, so for example, I'm pursuing a degree, a minor in public management. जो जितने मेरे public management के instructors हैं, they have actually redefined my outlook towards development in a way that is more sustainable and that's more empowering. Apart from that, the student-run societies of LUMS have played a very huge role in my time at LUMS. So as I told before, I'm currently the president of the LUMS Entrepreneurial Society. So I think entrepreneurship has the power to define the future of Pakistan, because अभी जो है पाकिस्तान के अंदर jobs कम है और लोग ज़्यादा हैं. And I think one thing that can actually solve this problem is entrepreneurship, and that is why I've been in the society for the last 4 years, and we're doing things that can actually solve this problem for the community at large through student-run initiatives. So, the kind of exposure that I've gotten through this society is also huge, because I've got to meet people that I would have normally not been able to do. And when you have the LUMS brand name with you, you actually can go places and talk about things which actually matter. When if you don't have that brand name, they won't matter ordinarily. So that is something that's very important for me, that LUMS as a brand name has actually enabled me to go places and talk to people and actually make an impact also. So from a very young age, I've seen this on all of the urban centers in Pakistan के urban inequality बहुत ज़्यादा है. तो what is urban inequality? Urban inequality for me है कि आपकी privileged areas एक जगह पे और उसके बिल्कुल साथ साथ जो है underprivileged areas हैं. और उसके अंदर one of the problems that I've seen from very young age is कि आपकी there is little to no communication between these two sections of the society. जो privileged रह रहे हैं वो अपने bubble के अंदर रह रहे हैं, the underprivileged are living in their own bubble, and there is little to no communication happening between these two sections of the society. और ये चीज़ मैं बचपन से देखते हुए आ रहा हूँ. So 2 years back, I actually had a self-realization that I need to actually do something about this, and that is where Riayat started. So Riayat was essentially a platform which actually connected the haves of the society and the have-nots of the society, and actually hence was an effort to solve the paradox of Pakistan's urban population, where the haves of the society and the have-nots of the society live very close together, yet there is little to no communication happening between these two sections of the society. So through Riayat, what we aim to do was introduce a digital solution to solve this gap between the haves and the have-nots of the society. So Riayat essentially started as a crowdfunding and crowdsourcing platform, which allows users to crowdfund and crowdsource projects of community development within their own community, hence solving the paradox of Pakistan's urban inequality. I've talked about the digital solution that we want to work towards. लेकिन digital solution के साथ जो है, it was very important for us to engage in the right way the have-nots of the society. तो उसके अंदर जो है हम लोग को एक institutional mechanism चाहिए था. So what we have done is कि हम लोग ने over the last few years we have established a community center in Gohawa village, which is on the backside of LUMS. So that is an institution that we're using to crowdfund and crowdsource projects of community development within that community. तो उसके ऊपर जो है, so जो impact of community driven projects है, that can be understood in light of that community center. So when we went into that community, we went in with a humble approach. तो we didn't go in with saying कि हम लोगों को पता है कि आपके मसले क्या हैं और हम लोग जो है ना आपके मसलों का solution बताएंगे. What we did was engage with the local governance of that community and ask them कि आप लोग बताएं कि आप लोग के क्या क्या मसले हैं, and then we can work with you to introduce solutions for that. And that is something that we did at the community center also. So we didn't build the community center from scratch. What we had was a collaborative approach. So an institution that was working on community development within the community, we partnered with that organization to actually establish the Riayat Community Center that was working on different facets of community development within their community. And all of these facets was developed in collaboration with the people that are living in the community. And the community center itself is a community run institution. So the people that are running the community center live in the community. People, so for example, we introduced the nutrition program at the community center last month. So the बेस्ट थिंग अबाउट दैट न्यूट्रिशन प्रोग्राम है कि हम लोग ऑलरेडी हम लोग राशन वगैरह तो प्रोवाइड करते हैं खुद ब खुद, लेकिन जो खाना पकाने का जो प्रोसेस है वहाँ पे जो औरतें हैं कम्युनिटी सेंटर के अंदर वो खुद बनाती हैं, एंड दैट्स प्रो बोनो. दे आर नॉट गिवन एनी सच वेज फॉर दैट. एंड व्हाट मोटिवेट्स देम टू actually do that is क्योंकि उनके जो बच्चे हैं वो उसी कम्युनिटी सेंटर के अंदर पढ़ रहे हैं. So they're contributing towards their children as well as the children of other people. So that is something that was very interesting for me कि आप जब community को empower करते हैं, they want to actually play their part in being part of the solution rather than being part of the problem. So that is, I think, one of the biggest successes that Riayat has had in the last 2 years कि हम लोगों ने एक community को बिल्कुल ही engage किया है, so that every community member is engaged in the development of the community. So that is the power कि आपके sustainable solutions अगर बनने हैं कहीं किसी भी community development के लिए, तो you need to engage the community rather than exclude them. There's a digital part of Riayat which allows crowdfunding and crowdsourcing, and there's this part of Riayat which actually works on community development. So for the community development part, what we do, our model is that we partner with the organizations in underdeveloped communities that are actually working in underdeveloped communities, और उनके साथ partner करके we establish community centers in different parts. We have one such community center currently operating in Gohava village, और उस community center के through जो है resources का जो inflow है वो रियायत के थ्रू आ रहा होता है. रिसोर्सेज कैन बी हार्ड और सॉफ्ट, तो उसके अंदर जो है आपकी रिसोर्सेज फाइनेंशियल भी हम लोग प्रोवाइड कर रहे होते हैं, फिर उसके साथ एकेडमिक हम लोग सारी जो रिसोर्सेज चाहिए होती हैं, फिर इंटेलेक्चुअल रिसोर्सेज कि आप लोगों को इन मसलों को कैसे हल करना है, यहाँ पे ये चीज़ें हो रही हैं सारी चीज़ें. तो दैट्स अ पार्टनरशिप कि आपकी जो है जो कम्युनिटी द इंस्टीट्यूशन दैट वाज प्रीवियसली रनिंग इन द कम्युनिटी बिकम्स एम्पावर्ड through Riayat in financial means, intellectual means and other resources. So that is the model that we run. और इस community center जो हम लोग establish करते हैं, what we aim to do is कि हम लोग जो हैं it becomes the point of impact for the entire community. So इस community center के अंदर we work on different facets of development. So for example, our current community center that's operational in Gohava village, we're working on education, we're working on gender equality, we're working on vocational training, and we're working on nutrition as well. So उसके अलावा जो है we have plans to introduce healthcare interventions as well as other interventions through the community center. So this community center becomes a point of impact for the entire community, through which the people in the privileged areas can actually crowdfund and crowdsource projects for community development within their own community through these community centers. So essentially, for our digital solution also, we needed a point of impact in the underdeveloped community, and that is how we established the community center. Till date, we have actually enabled the crowdfunding of projects valuing PKR 600,000 and have directly impacted 3,000 people. We are currently running our own community center in Gohava village, as I talked before. We are providing free education to over 30 children and vocational training to 20 women. Apart from that, we have regular ration drives twice a year. where we are providing ration and nutrition to over 60 families. Apart from that, there's this, so we are a very data-driven organization. So through that community center, we are collecting the data of families that are living in the community and actually working on holistic solutions that can actually solve the developmental problems of the community. I think no, especially after this anti-terrorism bill. So registering a non-profit is way harder than registering a for-profit company. और रजिस्ट्रेशन के प्रोसेस के अंदर बहुत सारे ऐसे हर्डल्स हैं जो यू नीड प्रॉपर लीगल एक्सपेंसिव एडवाइस फॉर दैट. और इसके अंदर आपकी जो है मैनी पीपल डोंट एक्चुअली गो फॉर रजिस्ट्रेशन, दे वांट टू ऑपरेट इन द इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर, लेकिन इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर के अंदर रहने के और मसले हो जाते हैं आपके. तो द लेजिस्लेशन फॉर नॉन प्रॉफिट्स has become more tough. जब भी फॉरेन फंडिंग इन्वॉल्व होती है इन एनी नॉन प्रॉफिट, तो दैट बिकम्स अ वेरी रेड सिग्नल. तो उसकी वजह से जो है आपकी फॉरेन फंडिंग के ऊपर मसले हो जाते हैं. फिर उसके अंदर रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस जो है इटसेल्फ 3-4 तरीके हैं नॉन प्रॉफिट्स को रजिस्टर करने के. देयर इज़ नो ओनली वन थिंग दैट कैन अलाउ यू टू रजिस्टर अ नॉन प्रॉफिट. तो उसके अंदर बहुत सारे मसले हैं. आई थिंक इट हैज़ द रीसेंट legislation has actually discouraged people from registering their non-profits rather than going forward with that registration process. And talking about social enterprises, there is no legislation regarding social enterprises in Pakistan, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान के अंदर जो है organizations are actually classified as for-profit and non-profit. There is no grey area that allows the registration of social enterprises, and that is one of the major hurdles that social enterprises face. So most social enterprises को यही मसला होता है कि अगर वो for-profit के अंदर भी registered होते हैं, so their taxation rate is the same as for the for-profit rate. तो उसके अंदर जितना भी वो as a social enterprise you are earning less revenue and you're being taxed equally as a for-profit. तो आपका जो net income होती है at the end of the day that reduces. So that is a very big no-no. और उसके अंदर जो है आपकी अगर non-profit के अंदर हो गया तो you cannot take money out of your organization. So it's not a sustainable solution. So most social enterprises, what they're doing is they separate their for-profit and their non-profit goal. So they register 2 companies. Say आपकी जो है एक NGO registered है जिसके अंदर जो है you're doing good work and you have a for-profit company that's earning revenue. So and that also is not a sustainable solution. So legislation-wise in the social enterprise sector, I think there are a lot of hurdles to the development legend of the community, and there needs to be solid work that needs to be done that can actually incentivize people to to leave the informal sector and come to the formal sector, because that's a more sustainable solution for that. The long-term vision of Riayat is essentially what we want to establish is a network of community centers throughout Pakistan, which allow users to crowdfund and crowdsource different projects of community development within their own community. So उस network के ऊपर हम लोग काम करना चाह रहे हैं, and one of those vision is कि हम लोग एक पूरे नेटवर्क ऑफ कम्युनिटी सेंटर्स हो पाकिस्तान के अंदर. सेकंड ये हो कि हमारा जो कम्युनिटी सेंटर का मॉडल है इट बिकम्स मोर डिफाइंड. सो हम लोग जो हैं अभी कम इंटरवेंशंस के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं. व्हाट वी वांट इज़ कि एक कम्युनिटी सेंटर हो दैट इज़ वर्किंग ऑन कोर इंटरवेंशन, सोशल डेवलपमेंट इंटरवेंशंस दैट कैन हेल्प डेवलप द एंटायर कम्युनिटी. तो आप लोग जो हैं, बिकॉज आई फील कि कम्युनिटी एम्पावरमेंट इज़ लैकिंग in many of the developmental organizations that are currently working in Pakistan, क्योंकि most of them are based either through के आप लोग जो हैं they don't have the resources के वो सब पूरी community को support कर सकें. उसके बाद जो है most of them are on an institutional basis कि वो जो है एक institution बना दिया that is focusing on one thing rather than the entire picture. So वो चीज़ जो है हम लोग अवॉइड करना चाह रहे हैं, and we want to have one institution that is focusing on the root cause of different social developmental problems within the community and try to solve those community problems through our community center through little point of interventions. So that is something. It's a more of a collaborative approach that we're having.